It's early morning and your kitties are pawing at your face, demanding you to feed them right this instant. You reluctantly get up and storm over to their bowl, scooping up some dry food and filling their bowl back up, then instantly walking back to bed. These might seem like completely normal things, but there's actually 5 mistakes in this scenario. Do you know what they were? Number 1, free feeding. We've all known someone who instantly fills their pet's bowl every time it starts getting low. Or, hey, maybe that person is you. This is called free feeding, and it's a mistake many owners make when feeding their cats. But it's convenient though. I don't want to waste my time pouring food multiple times a day. A major reason free choice feeding is harmful to your cat is because it encourages overeating. If your cat is overweight or obese, overfeeding is often the problem. I remember something a veterinarian I worked with told me that I'll never forget. She said that she's actually shocked when she sees a lean adult cat, and that to her, a cat at a healthy weight actually looks underweight, but only because of how normal it is to see overweight cats. Obesity is a big problem when free feeding, but it isn't the only problem. In a multi-cat household, free feeding also makes it difficult to know if a cat is eating too much or not enough. From observing the eating habits of cats in the wild, vets and nutritionists often suggest that pet cats should eat smaller but more frequent meals throughout the day. So instead of free feeding, check the feeding suggestions on the bag and measure out what your cat actually needs in a full day. Then split that up into 2 to 3 feedings. Your cat will get down to a healthy weight in no time. Fine, I guess I'll start measuring out how much I feed. Uh-oh, you're still doing something wrong. Number 2, feeding from a bowl. What? That's ridiculous. Every pet eats from a bowl. Yes, we've grown accustomed to feeding animals from bowls. But did you know that the object that they're eating from can greatly affect how they eat? Here, let's use Tangy as an example. Tangy eats raw, but this applies to any diet. During kittenhood, I would often feed him from a bowl because I thought the same thing that you did. But I noticed pretty quickly he would only eat the food in the center and not the sides. The reason for this is called whisker fatigue, which is when their sensory system gets overstimulated by their whiskers being touched too much. So when you feed from a high-rimmed bowl, they're constantly being pushed on by the sides. Once I started feeding Tangy from a saucer or plate, I noticed more confidence and enjoyment during mealtime. Okay, here I am measuring out my cat's amounts and using a plate. Nope, wrong again. Okay, what could I have done this time? Number 3, not watching your cats until they're finished eating. Similar to free feeding, when you feed multiple cats and then walk away, you're risking one eating the other cat's food. I have a friend who has 3 cats that eat near each other, and during every feeding, he has to stand and watch Trax until the others finish. Trax is the boss of the house, so when she goes over to eat Willow and Kaja's food, they just let it happen. So if you walk away, you may not even realize this is happening. Okay, fair enough, I'll watch my cats eat before walking off. Now, you may think you're out of the woods, but there's still a critical error in how you're feeding your kitties. Number 4, feeding a low-quality brand. You may be doing everything right when you're presenting the food to your cat, but if you're feeding a poor quality food, none of the first 3 even matter. Believe it or not, cats are obligate carnivores. This means they're a flesh-eating species and meat is biologically essential for their survival. Yet, oddly enough, many dry food brands are made from plant-based protein over animal-based protein, and most of the foods that are on the ingredients label are foods that they would never eat on their own. These are things like corn, soy, legumes, rice, potato starch, and wheat, which are in much larger quantities and poor quality food. These ingredients have been linked to obesity, diabetes, and urinary issues in cats, yet the food is still being produced and sold. Next time you're shopping for cat food, take a peek at the ingredients list and look for animal meat, organs, egg, and fish as the main ingredients. Okay, I got a better bag. I'm finally doing everything right. Sorry, but there's one more. Number 5, feeding dry food. Yes, it's true. Dry food can be very damaging to a cat, especially if it's the only thing that they're eating. Remember what I said about diabetes and urinary issues? Well, add kidney disease to the list too, because dry, dehydrating, starchy foods are a major contributor. Don't believe me? Diabetes. Starchy carbohydrates are what causes the blood sugar to rise, even in humans. Cats have no biological need for carbohydrates, yet dry food is riddled with them. In 2001, there was even a study done on diabetic cats to see if a high-protein, low-carbohydrate diet would help correct their health status. After 5 months, insulin levels were lowered in 8 of the 9 cats, and insulin injections were completely stopped in 3 of the cats. Kidney disease. Dehydration makes it really hard for the kidneys to filter out waste properly. So when cats are fed a very low moisture food their entire life, it can increase the risk of kidney failure later in life. Many cats don't have a strong drive to drink water from bowls, so this makes the risk even higher. In the wild, a cat's normal prey is around 75% water. Dry food is about 5 to 10%. If nothing else, I highly encourage you to feed wet food, but my ultimate suggestion would be to feed a raw diet, as this is what they were designed to eat. My cat Tangy thrives on raw, and I would love to see other cats do the same. But if you still can't feed your cat wet food, watch this video next so you can see how to improve their dry food.